Hi, I'm Sailor Venus, Mina here, and today I'm going to talk about, well, this one thing that I always think needs to be talked about. Alright, so it's like this, it's like alright, alright, so it's like the standard, let me think of it. Alright. If I didn't already talk about it, I'm going to talk about it now. So you have this thing, alright, so everyone in the wanted RIKES has done daylight keeping time, except for those living in Hawaii and Arizona and the other overseas settlements, which are not RIKES. And a lot of folks wonder, why was it done? Well, there are many beginnings to this saga, or this tale, how it came into being. Some say it started somewhere in 4 between YL. In the early days, or the beginning of what would become World War I. Not the whole world wasn't in it, but there were a lot of lands that were in it. There were enough lands that were in it that could make it be called that. And it didn't truly become a thing. And then there was not between 45 while towards the end of World War II. But even then, it wasn't a law yet or whatever. Then by the 1970, I guess between 70 YL around that time, give or take, it then became a law. Now, they did it because they believed at the time that the Blackstone and that the ooze and all the other ways of making lighting was either being blown or it was going to go away. There's just going to be so much and then boom, it'd be gone. At least that's what they believed at the time. So they thought if they did the whole thing where folks shift their timers ahead during spring and summer, there'd be more light and less folks would have their lights on. They thought if they shift the timers back during fall and winter, there would be more light on. I don't really understand the whole thing, but at the end of the day, it didn't go away. The Blackstone, the ooze, all the other things that one can make light works out of, lighting from, did not go away. But it was a thing. And once they did it, they just said, fuck it, it's a thing. Now, you're going to say, what about all the rainy and cloudy days which spring and summer has? What about if you're living in a big house and the light only goes so far in the room, then you're going to have your light on? Well, they never ever really, they couldn't tell folks when to shift their lights on and when to shift their lights off. It was never meant to do that. But I do think that it doesn't really help anyone that much. Now, I know there's going to be folks saying, well, it doesn't have something to, well, it doesn't really help anyone that much. When you first shift your timer ahead, you're still going to learn or to work in the dark. But once I guess April and May and June come along, maybe even July, it does get brighter in the morning. So then you could say, yeah, but then that is like the only good side to it. At the end of the day, folks are still going to be busy and effing whatever they're doing, learn or work or whatever. They might lose a span of sleep, which that's the always thing they always talk about, losing a span of sleep, you know. But at the end of the day, I don't really think whole daylight keeping time, and that's probably the wrong name for it. See, during fall and winter, you're not keeping the daylight, you're losing the daylight. But during spring and summer, you are keeping the daylight because you are making you're setting a timer ahead, which makes the day go slower. So I guess in a way you are, I guess in a way that you're, keeping a daylight. But it's either way, you're not really keeping it. It's going to be there either way. But at the end of the day, it's still a thing. And as is now, unless you live in any one of the many overseas settlements or live in Hawaii or Arizona, the only two RIKES that never had to do it or did it, but then were somehow got themselves out of it. I don't know, but it's still a thing for everyone else. So anyway, that's all the time I got to talk about that. I'm Sailor Venus Mina, and I hope you like this film. Bye.